Good evening, everybody. It is April 4th, and I just want to make a really quick video, real quick. Yesterday I ended up getting my UNC, and I had briefly talked about it in my last video when I made a quick video about the nuclear receptor. And just want to make a really quick video, real quick. This isn't really a review about the UNC. I just haven't worn it long enough. And so while it's fresh, I just want to actually keep this, keep the story fresh in my mind, because if I make a video on it a couple of weeks from now, I'm just gonna forget it, you know. So, or remembering correctly. So I got it yesterday. I could not wear it yesterday because it was just far too intense. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, if you look at the sea, I mean, it's gorgeous. Peridot in the middle with aquamarine on the bridges. And it's surprisingly lighter than my nuclear receptor, which I left it in my car, I think. So anyways, and so yesterday I could not wear it, and it was just too intense. I don't know how to describe it. I felt nauseous, I felt like I wanted to throw up, like headache, you know. It wasn't a migraine, I think severe, but it was pretty bad. So by the way, if I look tired, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home until around 6, 7, so bear with me if I look tired. So anyways, I wanted to just say that yesterday was quite interesting because I actually had my mom wear it. She was actually quite curious. She was really curious. Hey, let me try it on. And she had it on for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but something weird happened. She was just zoned out. I left, came back to her room, and she was just staring into nothing, you know. And I even kind of like, hey, you okay? And then she'll kind of just snap out of it, and she'll look at me and she'll say, what? You know, she's really off, really dazed out. I don't know, almost like she just woke up from being deep asleep, you know. And I don't know, so it looked like her mind was elsewhere, you know. So you can speculate whether or not she went somewhere, because it really did look like she was not here, you know. And when she was still, I mean, she didn't even look like she was breathing, and then she ended up falling asleep right afterwards. And she had just come back grocery shop, and I just had a conversation with her before she wore it. She was 100% conscious. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So then I had my little brother wear it. It didn't affect him that much, oddly enough. He was just at peace for some reason. So I don't think the Peridot does much for him. So he probably needs a different stone. I'm gonna have Megan test him out on it, because I like him to get a receptor here pretty soon. So so now back to me wearing it, though, my personal experience with it. So I tried to sleep with it last night, and the minute I put it on my pillow, I could not handle it. I was like, no, I'm not doing this, because I gotta wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no way, I cannot wake up, you know. I have to make sure I sleep, and the weekday is not not the time for me to play around with this. And these are not toys. Let me emphasize that enough. These things, are as cool as they are, you know, muscle testing and stuff like that, you know, muscle testing people, it's pretty intense. So you can potentially scramble somebody up, and in the case of my mother, you know, it's not fun to watch, you know. And I've been through it when I wore my buddy's platinum nuclear receptor that had a ruby in it. It wasn't a nice experience, and I was scrambled for about 2 weeks. I mean, I don't remember much about those 2-3 weeks, but my buddy described as if I was drugged out, and it was uncomfortable. So anyways, and no, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything, you know, so I don't even drink. So that gives you an idea of the kind of person I am. So and yeah, so today I wore it today on my way out of work. There's no way I'm gonna wear this at work and, you know, start feeling sick at work, and all of a sudden, hey, I gotta go home because I don't feel good because I wear a receptor. My boss will be like, what? Receptor? What's that? So I waited till the end of the day, and surprisingly I was actually able to wear it, and I'm still wearing it. So I'm like maybe 4 hours into wearing it, roughly. And I was quite fascinated. I had my friend actually wear this, and he had my coworker, and he had a pretty interesting experience. So I would have to read the text message. As a matter of fact, here, give me a second. You know, it's a very solid guy. It must be maybe 40s. You know, very smart, intelligent guy. You look at him, you wouldn't think he's into this stuff, but apparently, you know, I've always been drawn to people who are into, you know, things that people would consider normal, you know, stones, metals, energy, whatever, you know. Now, don't confuse that with me being really into it. It's just something that I felt since I was a child, and even now I still have a very hard time accepting it, you know. But anyway, so to give you an idea of what he said when he worked, and he only worked for about maybe, I want to say 40 minutes. And he's a white guy, and he has Cherokee blood in him and a couple other things. So that's what he told me. That's one of the reasons why he is kind of spiritual. It's interesting because while wearing this, you feel hot. I don't know. It's like my brother was describing it when he was wearing one of the pyramids. So it's like you feel warm. Anyways, so my buddy, I'm not gonna name any names. He said, I feel it in my chest, like pinpoint, focus, weight. But I am recalling meditation method that I thought I forgot. I'm flying through things, feeling steady yet energized. I'm aware, so aware I can literally smell the metal and electricity in the air. And he looked at me, you know, because he had to go. I didn't get a chance to talk to him because it was the end of the shift and I was on the call because I work at a call center. And he just looked at me and said, you know, didn't really say anything. Just looked at me and just gave me the acknowledgement, like, I don't know what you have there, but it's special. And I could tell from the face that he's gonna order a Receptor. You know, I'm gonna recommend it that he jumps into a Sterling one. So we'll see what happens. So, anyways, so far my experience with it has been good. I know the Ankh is supposed to have some sort of, still reluctant to say it, but you know, if you know about the Ankh, then I'm not going to get in detail with it. But I haven't felt anything outside of what, you know, what I normally feel with my regular Receptor. Do I feel different? My head feels a little lightheaded. I'm getting like heat waves all of a sudden, you know. You know, the heat waves are quite interesting because it's like they're going all over the place. And but my head, like around this area here, it just kind of, early today I was having more of a focal pain, you know, in the middle. It wasn't painful, but it was like, oh, something's being stimulated for sure. So at least that's what I can describe it. So anyways, yeah, so I'm only making these videos because when I was trying to look at the Ankh, I couldn't find anything on it, you know. And I did get some information from ATIF over at Paradigm, but it's very limited. So I just want to share my experience. So would I recommend it right away? No. Start with the entry level, maybe the Sterling Receptors. Get tested, please. I cannot emphasize that enough. Get tested for the correct stone, the correct metals. I wanted to go with the silver, but I don't think I can handle it, at least not right now. So maybe I might end up buying just a regular Sterling Receptor, the $1,000 one, and then see how that works. So okay, well, I think that's the end of this video for the most part. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to PM me or just leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not an expert in any means. I don't represent Paradigm in any way, shape, or form, but you know, people over there are pretty friendly and they're pretty awesome. So direct them over, you know, to the comments. Ask them directly. Definitely worth checking out. And as always, have an open mind. You know, there's some hard science about this, and you know, Dr. Bell, and I said this in my last video, you really do feel it almost instantaneously. I feel it even when other people wear this. I know it sounds weird, but I can't be around those people. So anyway, so you guys have a wonderful night, and then tomorrow is Wednesday. This week is going by so quick, so let's try to make the best of Wednesday. So alright guys, well have a good night.